welcome. Today, I don't know what day it is anymore. I've been doing too many videos. Yesterday I did like 4 or 5 of them. I was going to do kind of a not really a day in life, but I didn't really know. It just wasn't getting started. So, and I was thinking, well, last week I did how I did the recording on my phone, and I figured, well, I did do the kind of skit one. And if you're like wanting to do some type of skits like that, maybe I'll do a video of how I did it. Actually brought my notes this time, going for a walk. And of course it's starting to rain, so I might end up getting stuck in a rainstorm. That'd be good. And I'm also gonna keep all my squirrel moments in this one. I had someone ask me about just leaving it all in. And so I think it'll make editing a heck of a lot easier, I can tell you that much. Hopefully I won't get sidetracked and forget what I actually came out here to talk about, because I do that quite often. And I end up having to cut out half the stuff because I just kind of go off on the tangent. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So today, I guess I should be practicing my hooks. Today, on The Painful Life, it's going to be quite painful until she gets to the point. But the point is, I'm going to kind of go step by step on how I did the video and how I edited it to make it easier for me. So, and if you're wanting to do something where you're cutting up, like doing interviews and stuff like that, how you might want to pause it, especially if you're doing kind of like mock thing where you're not actually talking back and forth. You're actually doing a mock one from some other time, or maybe a video that you're inserting, and you want to make sure you have the right timing and that type of stuff, because some of the stuff I've learned over this last 2 or 3 weeks I've kind of like trial and error. And if there's any ways that you do it that makes it easy for you as well, please do a video. I learn better with videos than I do just someone putting a comment in the comment center. Comment center? Sounds like somebody in the office. But yeah, all right, let's get to it. Before I just start talking, and this video will be like 40 minutes long, because actually my last video was 40 minutes long, and I finally got it down to about 15. And yeah, so yeah, a lot of editing. It smells so good out here. I'm out here by my river. To the point. Well, when I started yesterday's thing, is I knew I wanted to do a video where I'm doing a video interview with myself, like the I can see it in my head. I can see his face. Homestead Made Easy. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I wanted to do something like that. He did the Forrest Gump, so I wanted to do an interview as well, because I've been wanting to do some of the stuff off of his list of things to do, and that was one of the ones I wanted to do. I also want to do kind of a advertisement type of video. Well, he did a protein shake. I actually have a protein shake I like, or one of my other things. Anywho, let's get back to the point. Like I said, squirrel. I'm really getting rained on. Picked the right time to do this. But first off, I knew what I wanted to do. So I got into the handy dandy GPT, whatever the heck it's called. And I typed in, want to do a YouTube channel skit where I'm interviewing myself, and one of the people will be a child care service trying to hire someone on, and the other person will be the type of individual you don't want to hire. And I let that kind of go. And it did a list of stuff. It's a little more generic. So I kind of picked out a couple of the things I kind of liked, and I go, can you make the interview snarky and kind of abrupt type of thing? It was like sarcastic and snarky. And so it came up with some more stuff. And we got some walkers. I'll let them pass as I'm talking. Don't mind me, I'm just doing a video. I said, don't mind me, I'm just doing a video.
Oh, you're fine.
I figure if it's raining, no one would be out here crazy like me doing this type of stuff.
No, you're fine.
It's got to get out of the house, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, that probably will edit a little bit. Anywho, where was I? Oh yeah, I did GPT, TPT, whatever. And they came back with some more interviewee snark, and I kind of really liked him. I did at least a total of 7 because I didn't want the video to be a mile long. So I just kind of went through and adjusted them a little bit to make it sound more like my idea of a Karen I didn't want to hire. And then I actually kind of adjusted the interviewer, adding some notes for facial things I wanted to do. And then I wrote it down on my thingy. And so the highlighted parts are the question the lady would do. And then the other written down is what the answers for the other lady would say. And then I'd add little add-ins, facial thingies, any type of things I'd want to, going back and forth of, like just kind of like going, and then going back to the other lady. She's just like snobby type of thing, looking down on everybody. And I was hoping to have her more of the gym bunny, but gym bunny. Ooh, there's a hawk chasing some birds. Ah! But yeah, so the first one I'd ask, like, why do you want to work in childcare? And we got more people coming. Oh, there's 2 of them. Sorry, squirrel. I want one of those. Those are kind of cool. And then, of course, the other one would be when I'd say the first question, ask her on the computer. Then I'd hold up my hand, covering the phone. I'd pause for a couple seconds. And then I'd actually read the line to myself, saying, this is what this person's going to say. She's going to say it in this snarky thing. I'm going to have her, have my person come back as just like a nonplussed type of thing. And then I'd take the hand off and I'd pause for like 3 to 5 seconds. That way it's easier for me to find the split where I need to split it to add the other person in. And as I do that, I take the other one, which I'd record afterward, going through the same thing. I'd say the line, then I'd pause, and then put my hand up and wait for, like, as I read off her question and what her facial features might look like type of thing. Then I'd take my hand off and I'd pause for a couple seconds, making sure my head is in the same position with approximately the same look, so I'm not getting a big jump when I'm going from one to another, even though I'd added a transition like a swoof, a swoop, sweep, swap, swoosh. Yeah, that's the word. I'd get the swoosh in. And so it kind of helped with the, where the head was and stuff, so it wasn't so bad of a jump. Then I'd go back to the first person as the other. Then I'd read the line as well. Of course, these are 2 different videos that I'm actually recording, of course. I'm not getting undressed going into another shortcut bet, yeah, because that'd be a pain in the ass. But I'd just read it off and I'd talk about it. And then before I'd go over, I'd get the first whole one thing. I'd study my facial features of when I pause and when I come back. Like I'll be typing on the thing going, and then I'd go to her. And then I'd do the same thing, but I'd pause and say, this is what she said, and this is what I'm going to say. Pause. Start my snarky response, like, well, you just need to remember, you're children. The children, you've got to treat children like dogs, and that type of stuff. And if I couldn't remember the next line, I'd pause again and make sure I'm in the same spot, put my hand up, read the paper, go back and make sure my head's in the same position, pause for 3 or 4 seconds. That way I can cut it and edit, and then read on. And then once I got finished with that sentence, I would pause again, put my hand up, 5 or 6 seconds, read out the line that the other person's going to do. And then I'd pause, come back to the same section, make sure my head is in the same type of position, and then continue on until I'd read both interviewer and interviewee. And then when I got home, I'd download them both onto it, and I'd look for the hands. And then I'd go and I split it and cut out the parts that are just me talking about the other person. I'd put one up on top of the line, and I'd separate like the interviewer, because I have the interviewee on the bottom. And then I'd cut up the top part, separate them. That way when they're actually in chunks, and so when I figure out the bottom part and I'm going over it, I would mute the one on bottom as I'm listening to the one on top. and then I do the vice versa, and then add the top part into the main line. And then once I re-listen to it and find that whole section right there between the interviewer first question and the interviewee's answer, and make sure everything sounds good and is cut and the pauses are working out properly, then I go in and add the swooshes. So that way I know that I've actually done that spot, because I'll see the little transition sections. Then I go in the other section, cut out the parts that I'm talking about the other person, go up to the main part, add it in. Once I got everything in and all the sound is equalized with the previous one and got everything done, I'd re-listen to it front to back, or back to front to back, whatever. And then I'd start focusing more on sound, the transition, and making sure it actually, I didn't put a video slice in the wrong spot type of thing. And then after that, I'd also, usually the first thing I'd do is add in the music and all the extras on it as well, and make sure all those are in the right spot and the sounds are the right spot. And then I'd go back and listen to it from front to back fully. So a lot of times I'm skipping all the way through. So the very last step before I export it, I'd listen to it from the very beginning to the very end, make sure everything's making sense and I don't have any extra little clips dangling about, because I shrink the whole thing so I can see the whole video, because sometimes you'll cut things out and a little bit of it will end up somewhere else. And then when you export it, you're wondering why your video is really long. It's because you have like a whole section of blank space, and then you have a section of a music or some outros or whatever. And so that's how I did that video. I don't know if that made complete sense, but I'm going to put up because I'm going to need to put something up. And now I'm going to go about 11 minutes. If you have any questions or something that just kind of sound like I mumbled over something, but you're not quite sure about, feel free to ask me a question. I'll try to answer it. And I'm hoping you're having a wonderful day. If you want to see more of this 30-day challenge, go up to the videos, click on them. Go on a comment center, see some of the people who are commenting, and go check out their channels as well. Make sure if you're starting something new and you want ideas, go to some of these other channels. They have lots of great ideas and lots of stuff that you can watch and help them out if they need a little help, or get some of the people who's been doing it for a while and see how they do it. That's how you learn, is by studying other people's videos and seeing how they do it and then trying to figure it out yourself. So a lot of times they'll do these things, but they don't actually have a video that shows you how they do it. Sometimes they do, which is a lot of times how I learn a lot of these things, but there's still a lot of steps that they do day in, day out that they don't realize it's a certain way of learning to do things, or not a certain way to learn things. It's a sequence in making their filming easier, something they do without thinking about it. And us who's just learning, we don't realize that's an easier way to kind of do things. Now, what I described, what I'm doing, is that an easy way? I don't know. That's how I do it, because it's made it a little easier for me. If there's methods that you do to make your editing and filming easier, please let me know, because I want to continue learning. And if I can get these videos out at a halfway decent time, I'm sure once I get going where I'm actually doing it once a week, I can take more time on it, and I'm not so forced to get that stuff out so quick. There's a lot of stuff I am missing, things that I'm rushing, like the hooks, the inserts and all that type of stuff. But for the most part, I'm kind of learning it, and it's getting easier. If you're doing it day in, day out, it does make it easier. All right, time to go. It's about 15 minutes. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much editing on this. Maybe just the areas that people are zooming past, and then we'll call it good for the day. And that's my day 21 or 20 or something. I can't believe I got another 10 days or so until done my whole 30 or 31 day challenge. Dang, I have learned a lot. All right, thank you. And if you're thinking of doing a 31 day challenge, you don't have to do a 15-minute one. So you can just do a 5-minute one. Your thoughts or quick things, but always strive to be better, and it will make your life a lot easier if you're always trying to do one thing more each time. Sometimes you don't know what that one more thing will be, but you don't know until you do it. Now I'm just rambling, so let's go see some of my other videos. Thank you. Love you. Bye.